Welcome to the English Tonight mini e-course. The topic of this e-course is how to speak and understand English faster. This is day 2 of a 5-day e-course. Thank you for coming back. I hope you enjoyed day 1 and we'll continue learning on day 2. Today we will be talking about making mistakes and listening to understand. Are you ready? All right, let's begin. What is a mistake? A mistake is another word for an error. So when you do something wrong or incorrectly, you make a mistake. Are mistakes good or bad? I guess it depends on the type of mistake. But in the case of language learning and learning to speak English, making mistakes is something good. Many language learners are afraid to make mistakes. They want to be perfect. If you are afraid to make mistakes, then you will have trouble learning English quickly. Making mistakes can help you. When you are having a conversation with a native English speaker and you say something wrong, the native English speaker will usually do something called a cast back. Cast back means that they will rephrase or restate or re-say what they think you were trying to say, but in the correct manner. So let's look at an example. An example of a cast back would be if the English language learner says, "Yesterday I go to school." The English speaker would say, "Oh, you went to school yesterday? What did you learn?" So they would simply say back the word that the English language learner got wrong, but in the correct manner. Cast back is a good way for you to train your ears. So if you are unsure of something that you said, listen to the person that you are talking with. They'll usually say that same verb back again to you, but in the correct tense. A cast back is a polite way of correcting someone, and it's a more natural way. If I'm talking to someone on the street and they make an error, I'm not going to scream at them and yell at them and say, "What's wrong with you? You don't know how to speak English." No, I'll just simply continue speaking with them, and if I have time to correct them a little bit in a casual manner, I will, but I won't call them out and be rude and mean and say, "What is wrong with you? You need to learn to speak English." No. So you need to stop being afraid to make mistakes. The more mistakes that you make, the faster you will learn. When small children are learning a language, they don't realize that they make mistakes. They learn from the mistakes that they do make. So they hear the language spoken all around them and they mimic or repeat what other people say. And small children or babies that are learning to speak, their number one goal is communication. So as long as they feel that you understood them, they are happy. If they feel that you did not understand them, then they might cry or scream or yell. So your number one goal when you are speaking English should be communication. If you can get your point across, then that's great. Don't worry about making mistakes and being perfect. No one is perfect. So don't freeze. Don't freeze. Please don't be afraid to make mistakes. No one is perfect, and you won't get better at speaking English if you don't try. You need to think about what's the worst thing that could happen. What's the worst thing that could happen if you make a mistake? So you might sound weird, or you might mispronounce a word, or maybe you can't think of the right word to say in English. You might feel embarrassed. Someone might laugh at you if you say the wrong thing. But none of that is that bad, is it? At least you're trying and you're getting your point across and you're communicating. Learning a new language is like creating opportunities to speak to more people. So don't be fixated and concentrating on being perfect. Think of a broad goal. Your broad goal is communicating and getting your point across. When you start to learn, you may only understand 10% of what is said. And as time goes on, you'll understand more and more. Repetition is key. I know when I was learning Spanish, which is my second language, I did not understand much at all. And of every sentence that I heard or paragraph, I might pick out a few words that I did understand, but I really did struggle at the beginning to understand what was being said. The key is to keep on going and keep listening and don't give up. The more you listen and the more you concentrate on doing a good job in hearing things that you do know, the better you will get. Repetition. The average person needs to hear something 5 to 7 times to remember it. Example, a new song. So maybe you're driving in your car or walking down the street and you hear a new song, a song that you have never heard before. It's the first time you hear it. You like the rhythm, you like the tune, you like the beat, and a few of the words that you hear might stick in your head. You might remember a few of the words, but you're not going to remember everything the first time you hear a song. But the more you hear it, if it plays on the radio a lot, or maybe you download the song or buy a CD, the more you hear it, the more you hear the repetition of that same song, the more of it that will stick in your head, the lyrics will stay in your head, and you'll be able to understand more of the words and pick out what they're saying. You'll not just understand the words, but you'll understand the meaning behind them. You need to train your ears to understand. This means that you need to listen for words in English that you do know. So don't focus on what you don't know. Focus on what you do know. When you are talking to someone, focus on the person. Look at them. Look at their face. Look at their mouth. Try to read their body language. Focus on the person that is talking. And the same goes if you are watching TV or listening to a song or watching a music video. Focus on the words and the person. Think about what you do understand. Don't concentrate on the negative. And soon, once you start training your ears to understand, then you will start to hear mistakes. You will start to naturally hear when something does not sound right. You'll be able to hear right from wrong. And when you are listening, you might not understand everything. That's fine. Just try to figure out the main idea. So if you hear blah, 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 the president, blah, 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 You know the sentence is something about the president. So pick out the words that you do understand. Don't concentrate on the small little words. Concentrate on the main idea. And when in doubt, if you don't understand, ask questions. Clarify. Is this what you were trying to say? Is this what this means? Ask questions and clarify to ensure that you are understanding correctly. Listen, don't translate. So many English language learners have a bad habit of wanting to translate every single little word to their native language. Please do not translate words to your native language. When you do this, you're not learning English. You're focusing on learning words and translating to your own native language. Instead of translating, you need to start thinking in English. So don't translate. If you stop translating, then you are forced to think in English and find meaning in what you are hearing. You're forced to find a meaning in what you do understand. You're forced to ask questions and try to get the main idea of what's going on. When you translate, you're not doing that. You're not even thinking. You're just translating. You're finding words in one language and putting them into your native language. And when you do translate, those words won't stick in your head for that long. When you are forcing yourself to think and you stop translating, then those words and ideas will stick in your head for a longer amount of time because you're actually thinking in English and trying to really understand what is being said. Also, use contextual clues. Well, what is a contextual clue? Contextual clue is clues of what is going on. So if you hear someone speaking in English and you really didn't understand everything, you can look at the person, look at their eyes. What are they looking at? Look at their hands. Are they pointing at anything? Are they making gestures? Look at their face. Are they happy? Are they sad? Are they upset? Are they excited? Look at their emotions. Also, use the clues of what is said in the sentence. So if you understood most of what was said in the sentence, but you didn't understand a few words, try to fill in the blank. You can guess. That's okay. Guess. No, there's no problem with guessing. Guessing is good. On day 3, you will learn how stories can help you understand and speak English quickly and naturally. Thanks for taking the time to listen to day 2, and I can't wait to share more with you. Until tomorrow, bye, and thank you.